All right, today's brow day. The questions that I'm getting so much of today is brow day, where I'm going to how I take care of my brows, how I do them. I can't find one of my products. It's the best thing ever. So we're gonna roll out without that one, but I'm gonna teach you the magic with brows and how you can make yours look a lot more natural, get to the point, and not look bald. So let's go. All right, I'm gonna wash off this brow. Well, I'm gonna wash off both brows. I'm gonna wash off the brows, and I'm gonna show you how I dye them. They don't fully need it quite yet because I just did it a little bit ago, but I'm gonna show you how I do it because that is key to having a boss brow. So mine, it's not gonna show up so much because again, they were just done. They are a little bit darker because they were just done. All right, first things first, know your brow shape. When you know your brow shape, that's where the magic happens. So knowing your brow is like knowing the back of your hand. Just kidding. So we're gonna shape the brow today. I'm gonna talk to you about brow shaping, well, what shape you need for your brow. And I'm gonna talk to you about tinting today. This is like where the magic happens. Now I like my brows to be a lot more natural. I don't do a ton of coloring on my brows, but I also know how good it can look when we don't make them be bald. So how is your eye shape and what direction do your eyes go? A lot of us have eyes that tend to come downward. So that's why it's important to have this kind of lift that's going on here too. So I like to say my brows are the shape of a boomerang, which is kind of how things are going right now. Now, let's say that your brows are really sparse. So what I want you to do is I want you to take any type of spoolie that you have, okay? Find you any type of spoolie. This is the brow brush from Saint. But I want you to take any type of spoolie that you have and we're gonna lift up those brows, okay? So we're gonna just raise them on up and create a shape and see what we have naturally. Okay, now as you lift your brows, what direction they tend to go. So a lot of people, they'll have them where they go completely straight across. And if you notice, if I put my brows down, if you notice how much that just kind of droops that eye. So it just looks a lot more flat and a lot more drooped than this eye. Because what's happening is this side is just becoming lower and lower. And if you have any type of hooded eyes, this is creating that excess skin. You see that? This is creating that excess skin. And these are just coming down. It's just making it look like that excess skin is excessive. And we want to take that away, right? So it's looking more like that. So just by me pulling them up and creating this boomerang type effect, that's creating that lift. Like, isn't that crazy? It's like magical. It just, boom, there it goes, right? I'm a little genie in a bottle for you, baby. Okay, you gotta rub me the right way. Just kidding. All right, back on track. Whew. Now, what you wanna do when you're doing your brows is you're gonna start out and you're gonna create a shape and you're gonna shape those brows by lifting them up a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna make this mixture. I'm gonna do this concoction. Any one of my YouTube videos, let me make this loud and clear. We're gonna type this out here, like alert. Every single one of my YouTube videos, everything I use, I put in the description below. There's this little box that you push on the little arrow thing down, and all these words pop up. And those words are as much as like the clothes I'm wearing, the jewelry I have on, the products that I use. That's all in there. So I'm gonna link this because this comes in a kit. So this is a this is a developer. Okay, it comes with this little glass guy. It comes with the color, and this is just a natural color. It is not in English. It says 5 to 10 minutes, mix 1 to 1. But I don't leave mine on 5 to 10 minutes. So it's a light brown. The longer you leave it on, the darker it goes. The shorter amount of time you leave it on, the lighter it goes. So you can choose what color that you want to be, but this is where. So how do you choose what color you are? Especially if you have white hair, you're gonna go to what your roots used to be. If you have like white, gray hair, okay, what they used to be. And then if you have blonde hair, we're not gonna go to the color of the blonde, right? We're gonna go to what the roots were. So let's say you dye it red. What was your previous color? What was there, okay? Brows are something that can make you look extremely bald, so you want to include them. Now, I have this where I'm gonna put it right in front of this camera right here, and I'm gonna try and get it in close. So I'm gonna put in about yay much, like that, into this little container. Can the camera pick that up? Yeah? Okay. Now I'm gonna take this developer, and you don't have to make it perfect. I'm gonna take this developer and I'm going to just do about that much because it said 1 to 1. So there's 2, 3, 4, about 4 drops. Okay, and when you first mix it up, oh, PS, the brush that they give you, it's crap. So glue it back together. So if you see my brush, this is the brush that comes with it. It's crap. So when I first mix it, it looks like it's not gonna mix at all. But the more you mess with it, the more it becomes a good paste. So you want it to just be a paste, not too thick, not too thin. You want it to be a good paste. Now, when you do this, we're gonna shape those brows, right? We wanna go with some type of shape. So when this hits the skin, you can do it where it just is gonna hit just the brow, or you can do it that it hits the skin a little bit too. I like to have it hit the skin because I go really sparse right along here. So I'm gonna get out a handy dandy mirror, and I've already spoolied my brows, right? Oh, put the lids on stuff. So I've already spoolied my brow. Before I start, I'm gonna see if there's any hairs that are so out of place that I need to fix them. So I have a Tinkle razor right here. Tinkle, you got a Tinkle? And I'm going to create, so any little hairs that are up in here, I just take off. So I personally don't wax because I get zits and everything after I do wax. So I purposely don't do it. So you have to be super, super careful so that you don't go into your brow, because if you do that, that's not my fault. And what I'm gonna do is I'm creating, look at this, see how this is about the same size as that? So, and then this is about, you turn it here, and this is about the same size as that. We're all a little bit different, but what we wanna create is that boomerang. So this is gonna create a lift, and then it's gonna drop down, because what this is doing at the point of the height right here, that's where our eye, we wanna create a lift because our eyes are starting to come down like this, right? So we wanna create that lift right there. So I'm going to shave that and clean up nicely right in here. Okay, next, I forgot my tweezers. Next, we wanna tweeze anything that is in here that is excess. So do not go crazy on this. We're talking a couple hairs, you don't need to go nuts. Do not lose these hairs. And if the razor didn't pick up everything, let's get that. Come on, you one hair. All right, now, if you need to trim anything up, you would know for how long it is. So how you know that is if you hold it up like this. Let's get the camera in nice and tight here. If you hold that up like this, if you have hairs that are way out of line, they're way too much, you can trim them a bit. Be super careful on this edge, on this corner, that you don't trim those too much. But see how there's that one hair poking up there that's really, really long? I would take that and I would just trim up that one hair to just make it chill out. But I don't wanna go too short. Okay, so we do want these to still have a little bit of length to them so that they can lay down nice and not just like spread out. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna start shaping your brows like a good girl. you're gonna give them a little bit of help, okay? All right, so I'm gonna whiz on through this. So this is how I'm gonna do this. I get this paste that we already did onto my brow. You can do this with a spoolie if you'd like, and just spoolie it onto your hairs and not get it on your skin, but I like to get it on my skin. So I'm going to start on my back side, because I want it to stay on there the longest because that's the most sparse. And I'm gonna come down. Okay, so we have our down part. And then I'm going to create a line across. Get that camera in nice and tight. And this line across, and then see how we came up and now we're coming down. Now I'm gonna go to the front and I'm gonna kind of like, as if I'm doing hair-like strokes onto the skin. Never make it a thick, just stop in the front. We want this front part to stay pretty dang natural. So no like harsh lines. Okay, and then we're coming up into the front. Now, for me, I leave this on for about 2 minutes or so. There we go, okay. And I move on to the other one. By the time I'm done with the other one, that's when this one for me will come off. So I'm gonna come in here to the back side and I'm gonna press it onto my skin. And if you ever get too much, you have a rag that you can clean it up. So compare the two. Make sure you don't go down way longer. Okay, so those compare. Now we're gonna come to this up part. And now we're going to come to the front. Okay, get a little bit more for that front. Okay, so this is on my skin. Like I said, you don't have to have it be on your skin. You can have it just go on the hairs. But I like to have it be on my skin. It will last on my skin for maybe 3 to 4 days or so. But I want it to sit on my skin. In the front though, I would rather have it sit on just your hair. If you can't figure out how to not make it thick in the front, sorry, I like have my palette out in front of every camera. If you can't figure out how to make it thinner, I would rather not have it be sitting on your skin than to. I'm gonna take this little brush right here because this brush isn't getting the front. This is a really good brush. This is from Saint. Their brow brush is boss. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna rinse off this brow because I don't want it to stay on there for too long. There, and now I have an awesome brow. Woo woo! Isn't that amazing? And then all I have to do now is go and fill in with my products, my brow products that I like. What? Yeah, baby. Okay, this part right here is just not wanting to get on my skin. Haha, there we go. I got it. So what I do, because that part right there wasn't cooperating, so I will rinse that out last. So if I feel like I need to get this off, I'll get this off and I'll leave that little portion on there while I rinse this off. Okay, don't rinse this out until you know for a fact that your brows are done. Like, you know how you're sitting here waiting, you wanna clean up? Don't rinse this out until you know you're done, because when you take this off, if there's a bald spot, you've already rinsed that all out. So now I'm gonna rinse this back side because I don't want it to get over processed. I'm gonna rinse out to this point. Again, we don't want it to get over processed. Rinse it off really good. And then I'll let that front part sit on there just a bit more. Okay, I'm gonna take it off just because I'm nervous. And it did kind of miss it, but that's okay, because we can fill it in with this. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you how I fill it in with these babies. So this is Glossier, and it's the boy brow. And I get it, I don't know if you can see, but it's the blonde color is the one that I do. And then this is the Brow Flick from Glossier. And this one, it's the blonde as well. Okay, so the Brow Boy I put on first because it's kind of like a little waxy. Now Saint has an amazing wax, and how you use Saint's, it's the product that I said I can't find, and I'm super bugged about it. So how you use the Saint brow wax, it comes in, it's like hard as a rock, and there's no way that you can use it unless you have a brush like this. You will spray it with a setting spray first or with water, and you'll spray your brush, and then you'll into it, and then you're gonna put it on. And it acts as like a hairspray, a wax to like tame down those suckers. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next though, I don't have that. It's seriously my favorite product. So the Brow Boy, the boy brow, it works pretty dang good. It's not as good as that wax, but so if you have unruly ladies, then you'll wanna use that. But so what I do is I start here, and I start here because I don't want it to get too heavy in the front in case I accidentally had too much on my spoolie. And I'm gonna work my way back because this is my unruly hair. So I want a decent amount there. And then in the front is the one I do last. And I'm combing it up. We talked about combing up, right? Now you're seeing people where they're doing them really thick and really combing it up and they look really bushy. You don't have to do that. Just because I'm combing them up doesn't mean I'm gonna make them really unruly and bushy. So I'm just gonna turn this spoolie around, do that on the other side, come down. Okay, and then I'm gonna finish out this side. Now, if you'll notice, this one looks super clean, looks really good. And then this isn't as straight of a line across there. It's kind of got some bald spots to it on this side. So I'm just gonna fill them out. Also, my brows, this side raises up higher than this one does. So this one I try to give a little less of a lift, and this one I try and lift it just a little bit more to kind of help balance them out. All right, last step is going to be the Brow Flick. Okay, the Brow Flick, you're gonna go in here and you're gonna just fill in the areas that need filled. So, and then this right here, I have a hair that comes down here. I don't know if you can see this if we zoom in, but I didn't want to get rid of this hair right here, because if you look at this brow and look at this brow, I need this straight line to come across here to give it a really good finished polished look. So I didn't want to get rid of that hair. If I got rid of that hair, it would take away and it would give me a whole different shape to my brows. So I kept that hair, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill in that little area right at that point, and then right in the front. And if I don't need to do much to this one, I'm not going to. There's no need. Like, this one is great. So this one just needs a little TLC. So I'm gonna take this spoolie that has nothing on it and just make sure we're getting it taken care of. I'm gonna fill in right here. Right here. And then we're calling it a day. Okay, so there's the brows. They look so good, okay? You can create a shape. So shape your brows to how it best fits your face. If you have brows that go straight across, my advice to you is try and find a point where you really can create a lift. If you need to go outside of your natural brow line just a teeny bit at the top, just a little bit to give it a little bit lift, about from like so right here, then do that. Because we want to create some type of little lift so we're not so droopy pulling, okay? If these brows were down flat, see the difference, and they didn't have like that boomerang effect? See the difference that can just make with having them be more pushed down? I mean, I know I'm pushing down my face, but the shape makes such a difference, okay? All right, there's that brow tutorial for you. shaping your brow, tinting your brow, creating a look with your brows so that your brows don't look bald, which adds more dimension to your face, is so important. So to find more information from me, to see more things from me, you're gonna always find me at on Instagram at jocelyn.mcclellan. Go follow me there, say, hey, I just found you on YouTube. I'm gonna follow you here and say hi, and I will say hi back. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Facebook, I go live. Tuesdays I teach makeup, Thursdays I teach hair, and it's Fit Mission Makeup with Jocelyn McClellan. Here, ring the bell, hit subscribe, because I want you to, and I want you to enjoy me, but when you do that, you get notified for every week when I upload a brand new video. Remember to check the description below to find out everything that I used. You can see the makeup colors that I'm wearing. I might as well put some makeup right in here and finish this back up for you. But you can see it all as you search out more videos, more tutorials here on this page and other forms of social media. I got you taken care of though, whichever you like. I have you. Okay, I hope you have an incredible, amazing day, and we will see you next time.